For me, what I wanted to do when I came here was run the happiest hotel in London. It's an important part of my psyche that my team is really happy. And by running a happy team, I believe the guests feel it. And I want to run happy, confident team members that are the best version of themselves, that are delivering the best service they can to the guests. I'm Sally Beck, General Manager of the Royal Lancaster, and I'm delighted to be here talking today about Hypnos and the fact that I suppose for us we are a Hypnos hotel, as all of our beds in our 411 rooms are all Hypnos. As General Manager of one of the best hotels in London, it's quite a varied job. I have 411 bedrooms and suites in the hotel, about 400 staff. We have a large event space, 3 restaurants, bars. It's quite a varied job. My goal is to run the happiest hotel in London, so that requires running a happy team 24/7. I think in hotels we all have to remember we're actually in the sleep business. That's what we do. People come to us to have a good experience, but most importantly, a good night's sleep. So the testing of our Hypnos beds was wide and deep. We had beds in, we had different types of beds, we had me sleeping on them, team members sleeping on them, our owners sleeping on them, testing, because that's actually the essence of our success. If we don't offer a good sleep experience, then we're actually not doing the hotel business any good. So really important. I think what I like about Hypnos products is the consistency of their brand. I mean, they've been around a long time and they have a good gravitas and integrity about what they deliver. They're not here for a quick noise, they're not here for a quick partnership. It's a long-term partnership and that suits us. So I like that first and foremost. I like the fact it's UK, I like their sustainable partnership. I also like how they understand our business and they support us in what we need to do. If we're doing a rotation of beds, they know how to help us with that. They know how to help with storage. I also like the variety, even though we tend to just choose one model of bed for us. But I like the fact they can work with what that might look like for me. And the longevity of their product, yeah, it's good quality. And that's really important. I think the customer experience over the last few years has really changed. I think social media has made a big difference in the way hotels are perceived. You know, when I started my career, I was in sales and marketing, and I would position what I wanted the hotel to look like. That's gone. You know, I can't control the content. The content is now from our guests to other guests. So it's a very authentic experience now. Whether we have people that are Instagrammers or TikTokers or LinkedIn communicators, it's their content and it's them telling the world what they think about our experience. So it's a much more authentic one. You can't hide. Either you deliver good, consistent service or you don't, and you will get caught out. You can't pretend who you are anymore, and I think in the past you possibly could. I think it's a good thing. I think it means that the guest is king. Yeah, they need to be listened to, we need to listen, and we need to make sure that we adapt our service accordingly to what their experiences are, you know, what they're wanting to experience. I think the secret of our success is that personality that we feel we can deliver. We're one of the very few independent hotels in London. Most hotels in London tend to be brand or chain owned, and that takes away a little bit of independence. The joy that I have here is that, you know, we're owned by a Thai family. There's ourselves, our sister hotel, the Landmark, sister hotel, K West. We're allowed to be the very best that we can be with our personalities. For me, what I wanted to do when I came here was run the happiest hotel in London. It's an important part of my psyche that my team is really happy. And by running a happy team, I believe the guests feel it. And I want to run happy, confident team members that are the best version of themselves, that are delivering the best service they can to the guests. The secret of our success is having a team base that's engaged on the same journey that I am in delivering the happiest hotel in London. When I came here, we were at 272 on TripAdvisor. We've been at number 3 on TripAdvisor for the last 6 months. For a big hotel in the capital, that's quite an amazing statement, so we're really pleased. This happiness piece that I talk about for the hotel, it's about inclusion and diversity. I have about 47 different nationalities in the hotel, and that's 47 different cultures, 47 different languages or ways of thinking. And all of that probably represents a lot of the 47 different nationalities we might have from our guests coming in. So it's about harnessing all that knowledge and making sure that we make sure everybody's included in the solutions. We run an inverted hierarchy at the Royal Lancaster. Traditionally, the General Manager sits at the top in a traditional hierarchy. With me, I sit at the bottom, and it's a supportive role. That inverted hierarchy, it's harder to run, but it's better. It means that the most important people on my team are the frontline team. They're the ones that run at the top. They're my waiters, my room attendants, receptionists, concierge. They're my top line. They see the guests, and they need to be happy and have the tools to do their job. So my question to them is, right, what do you need? How can I help you? As opposed to do it my way and don't think. And so that inverted hierarchy for us in our property really works really well. And I think that's why we retain the staff that we do. And I think that's why we are able to give the experience that we can to our guests, because everyone's involved. And so, yeah, that inverted hierarchy is important. Product design is really important. I mean, I started in our hotel in 2012 before we embarked on a monster renovation and redesign of the property. So I was involved in that product design as we sort of went through our rooms, and making sure that you're designing for the future, you're designing with sustainable and environmental care involved in it, and thinking about the guest journey, as well as the ease of managing the maintenance of the property and the room and the productivity of the teams. So it's a really important part of the journey within hotels. Our bed bases and our mattresses are with Hypnos. We went through quite a rigorous procurement process before deciding on Hypnos. We really liked the fact that they were UK based. That was quite important for our sustainable piece. We really liked the additional service they gave us in terms of, we were doing the renovation while we were alive. So we had a transfer of old beds to new beds whilst being in a live building, half the hotel being out, half the hotel being in. There was a logistical process in that, which Hypnos worked with us right from the start, which was great. And I like the flexibility of what they're able to offer us. We have zip link beds, and the zip link piece for us gives maximum flexibility for our rooms without compromise of comfort for the guest. So that was another big part of the decision in choosing Hypnos. The main issues that are happening within hospitality in the UK today is staff shortages. We've actually kept a team, and we have a good reputation as a great employer in London. So our issues aren't as acute as some people across the capital, but we're trying to be creative. Through the summer, I have a very solid team actually, and the team need to take holiday through the summer, which means I need to make sure that I've got extra cover. We worked with local colleges and universities. When I say local, actually, they weren't that local. We had some from Scotland. But we looked at students that are doing catering and hospitality and offered them summer placements with us, working with a local hostel nearby to do live-in accommodation. So that's been quite creative. But there's recruitment issues, there's also retention issues. And I think being a good employer is really important. So those are some of the issues that we're dealing with at the moment. It's getting better. As London's now recovered business-wise, team members are coming back from Europe who have the right to settle in the UK now that they know they've got regular employment. So it's getting less acute than it was. I believe in development of team members, and the apprenticeship programme that we run in our hotel is quite broad. I think apprenticeships are a really good way for team members to sort of learn while they're earning. So for us, it's really good a retention tool. And it's also great that you get the development of your team members to then add value back to the hotel. I think the reputation of hospitality is not the reality of where it is. I think people tend to think of hospitality as long hours and poor pay. That's sort of gone out with the arc. I don't expect 12-hour days from my team. They're rotated on for 8-hour days. We work on a work-life balance. There's always good service charge and trunk systems available across the whole capital. So, and the great development opportunities. We're in the happiness business. I don't think there's a single industry other than hospitality that actually's job is to give joy. The Hotels for Trees is a brand new initiative for us, and it was brought out by a couple of guests actually asking me, how can I say I don't want service? You know, in my own home, I'm happy to make my own bed, I'm happy to hang my own towels, and I don't need my towels changed every day. And we thought, okay, how do we do this? Because do not disturb doesn't do it. Because once that do not disturb's off, we'll then make the bed and we'll do it all for you. And we came across a company called Hotel for Trees, which is another little hanger. You just hang it out when you do or don't want service. If you choose not to have service, we will then just not enter your room at all and won't give you service. We might refresh the water and refresh your minibar, but we wouldn't service the room for you. And we would then plant a tree in recognition of you not wanting service. We've literally just started it. And we think it's a nice initiative. It's been going out in Europe now for the last 2 or 3 years, and we thought it'd be worth a shot to see if our guests want to do that. So I'll have to let you know whether it works or not. When we were in the middle of the renovation, I had got old beds and then I was bringing back new beds. Hypnos was able to help us with that, to make sure that they were rotating in line with what our numbers were. So I didn't have a whole load of beds that I was storing while I was trying to move the other ones, and they took all of the old stock and they broke it all down and nothing went to landfill. So that was massive for us because environmentally we had nothing go to landfill, and that was really important in that process. Sustainability is very important. We're a fully signed up member of the Trying to Get to Net Zero by 2050, but if we can get along that road by 2030, then we're going to go for it. In the renovations, we put in a living wall, which is really important for us actually. And in that living wall, we've put like bee homes and bug hotels and all this sort of stuff, which is really nice. And we have had our honeybees on the roof of the hotel for over 10 years now. One of the first hotels in London stick on their own sort of bee farm, which is really exciting. I quite like that. And so the honey that we harvest from there goes to our breakfast or to our desserts, which is really sweet. And we're just signing into EarthCheck, making sure that we're sort of hitting all the buttons and moving forward on with food waste, which is a massive piece for a big events hotel. And also the carbon footprint of food is quite important. You know, people wanting strawberries in midwinter, do they understand what that footprint is? So it's an education process for us, but also we have an opportunity to educate our clients. And we will be in the lead of that because I think the education process is really important for all of us to move forward. I think sustainability is now becoming more and more important for guests. I think as they're practicing it in their own countries, they're seeing the impact of climate change and global warming. It's becoming, it used to be, I think, in the background, yeah, we need to pay attention to this, but I will eventually, to actually now I am paying attention to it. I want to offset. I want to know that I'm in a sustainable hotel or an environmentally caring hotel. We took away single-use plastic bottle water for our guests years ago, and we actually put in carafes of tap water. The tap water in London is probably the safest to drink across the world. It's filtered, I think, filtered and done, I think, 7 or 11 times or something ridiculous. But there's a mentality that people think, oh, I can't drink tap water in hotels. And I don't know where that comes from, because you can in England. So we've got these beautiful carafes that we fill and we say, this is London tap water, it's completely safe, please refill and use as much as you like. And it was quite controversial putting that in because we're taking away bottled water and educating people to use the tap. And my team was saying, Sally, you're nuts. We're going to get so many complaints, it's not going to go down well at all. We got 0 complaints. Our sales of in-room minibar water went up. So those that did care bought water from the minibar. Everybody else used the tap water into the carafe, and the amount of social media, Instagram and TripAdvisor comments was so positive. We love this hotel. They were taking photos of the carafe with little things saying it's really good water, enjoy it, you know. And they were saying we really love the fact that this is educational, and it was a really positive move. So now that's been in now for say a couple of years, and we just have moved on. And so the guests have moved on with us, which is great. It's really important for us to work with ethical suppliers, and say Hypnos is perfect example of that. But as you go through your environmental compliance, whether it's EarthCheck or B Corporation, whatever, the third silo that you need to look at is your supply group, and making sure that that supply group is ethical, conscious, doing all the right things is vital. Otherwise you will never hit your carbon goals and that net zero. That's been part of our ethos over the last 2 or 3 years, is choosing the supplier base correctly. And it will continue getting more and more strong as we go through this, you know, this whole environmental change that we need to work through.